All right. Good morning, James. How you doing there, brother? Cameron, how are you?
I'm pretty good. Happy to be back. Sorry I missed an episode yesterday where we talk about Sarah Silverman. Don't tell anybody, but man, I have thought she was hot for a long time. I remember when she had guest spots on Star Trek Voyager. So there's my nerd cred.
Oh shit, yeah. Damn. Yep. No, but yeah, I was fair. She's a good looking girl. And all things considered, I mean, she fitty, so she looked damn good for fitty.
Right.
So, anywho, good morning, good morning. It is Firearms Friday. With any luck at all, we'll get half the viewership we had yesterday. I hate to see Firearms Friday go underserved, but oh hey, you're back on Periscope. Yes you over there on Periscope. Go to YouTube, Facebook, Daily Motion, BitChute, etc., etc., etc. Get off of Periscope. It's going down. And there's Steve. Good morning, sunshine. How are you? So, I'm going to complain a little bit before we dig into the topics this morning. I got us lined up to go do a wrestling thing tomorrow, shooting footage at a wrestling match. And I mean, we're talking country. It's literally called the Southern Fried Championship Wrestling, right? And I mean, James Royster's going to be there, but the rest of you bitches said you're busy. A little disappointed. And I understand. Life happens. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, there's work things and personal things and all sorts of things.
Yeah, buddy. All right. So, Cameron, you wanted to talk about a little something before we dig into the actual story this morning.
Okay, just briefly. When we were doing our WTF Wednesday segment, the story came across CNN's front page about the shooting of the spas in Atlanta, and 8 people had been murdered. And I just kind of flippantly said some psychopath murdered some hookers. And it turns out that's exactly what happened. I mean, so saith the FBI. And that's not just my opinion. The FBI thinks this is exactly what happened. This guy's a sexual deviant and took it out on hookers and just awful, awful stuff. Now, of course, the media is trying to say that this is white supremacy, and now instead of hating black people, we hate Asian people, which is just, it's ridiculous. It is nonsense on top of nonsense. However, I've said oftentimes on Firearms Friday that I believe everybody has a right to defend their life. And even if you're engaged in nonviolent criminal activity, you have a right to defend your life. I've given the example many times that if drug dealer A tries to rob drug dealer B, and drug dealer B says not today and blows drug dealer A away, legally that's not a clean shoot. But as far as my moral compass goes, that's a clean shoot. Don't rob people. So
Yep.
Even though these spas are just fronts for prostitution rings, I mean, they're literally jack shacks, me love you long time type of places. Just because you're a prostitute doesn't mean it's okay to get murdered. I really, really, really wish that whoever the house matron was at these places had a double-barrel shotgun underneath the counter and had the opportunity to blow this sicko away. He might have still killed a few people, but I don't think his body count would have reached 8. And it is what it is. It's one of the many, many, many reasons that I despise all forms of gun control. They should have been allowed to have been armed. It got people killed that, frankly, if you're working at an Asian massage parlor, you've already had a shitty enough life. And to get murdered by some psychopath, that's awful. It's a tragedy, and they should have been armed.
Agreed. So, the moral of the story is guns for hookers.
I'm I am actually strangely comfortable with that.
Yeah, I'm very comfortable with that. I don't want to go too far down that rabbit hole, but honestly, if it were up to me, prostitution would not be illegal. Because where's the victim?
In fact, the fact that it is illegal is why there's so many people that end up in sex slavery.
Correct.
But God forbid we start sounding like libertarians and people think we're ridiculous. And so, anyhow,
No, drugs, prostitution, gambling, any of that. Here's the Here's a copy of the Constitution here. Just at a cursory glance. Let's see. There's some amendments. There's some articles. Preamble, Article 2. So we've got some stuff about the legislature, judiciary. Signatures. A Bill of Rights. We got something about...
I think you have enough thread, buddy. You can tie the knot.
Yeah, I don't see anything. Point to me in this document where the federal government has the authority to prohibit any activity that doesn't cause harm. Crime is harm. And the argument for the prohibition on activities like gambling, prostitution, drug use, possession, distribution, production, the argument is, society's the victim. No, you're a damn liar. So, all right, moving on. Let's go ahead and do us some Firearms Friday.
Yay, buddy.
Story number 1. This one is, what? Okay. Authorities say fatal nightclub shooting was justified. For a second, I thought this just something about this particular Fox News logo. It's not Fox News, it's Fox 19. So, not actually the Fox News network. Something about that logo looked local. I thought I was about to read a story that happened here in Atlanta. And I was going to be excited about it, but that's okay. Hey, Waller's with us too, and I see Anarchy Television has joined us. And of course, Krista. Good morning, sunshine. How y'all doing today? Authorities say fatal nightclub shooting was justified. And what the hell? Oh, there's no article. It's just a video. See, this is the downfall of screw these guys. There's no article.
Next.
Next. All right, man in custody after hiding in North Carolina following home invasion shooting in Chesterfield, Colorado. Juvenile suspect killed. Ooh, juvenile suspect. Hey, Tim's with us. Good morning, Tim. Good morning. Chesterfield County, South Carolina? What? Oh, Chesterfield CO it's a little O. It's not for Colorado. It's Chesterfield County. Gotcha. A man was arrested for his involvement in a home invasion in Chesterfield County Friday morning. Austin Drake was found... Oh, guys, I'm so sorry. Excuse me. Austin Drake was found hiding under a crawl space at a home on Mangum Dairy Road in Union County, thanks to citizen information, according to deputies. Drake, Noah Daniels, and a juvenile were accused of breaking into a home where shots were fired. Deputies said the juvenile was fatally shot in the head and a homeowner was shot in the leg after masked men invaded a home in Chesterfield County. The incident happened at a home off Highway 207 in Pageland when a homeowner and his son were leaving for work and a male suspect was standing at the door needing directions. Wow. Okay, that's heartbreaking. So we lost a kid here, basically. Deputies say the second suspect came from around the corner armed with a gun, forcing the homeowner and his son back into their home. Daniels, 21, started to fight with the homeowner and shot the homeowner in the leg. The son of the homeowner then shot the 17-year-old suspect in the head with a shotgun. Damn, son. Ouch. That's
That is not the one you want.
I hate to really lose a kid, but I mean, 17 years old and breaking into a house with a gun, that's a DRT. That's a clean shoot. And, damn, son, not the one you want.
Yeah,
okay.
I think it's fair to say that's going to be a closed casket funeral.
Yeah. A third suspect, identified as Austin Drake, stayed inside the vehicle. Daniels left the home in a small white vehicle, headed north toward North Carolina with Drake. The 17-year-old was flown to a hospital in Charlotte with life-threatening injuries. Oh, damn.
You think?
Well, and that makes it a DOT. So, go ahead and turn that score back a bit. Damn. Waller says, clack, clack. Tom, you ain't wrong, brother. During the course of the investigation, it was determined that Daniels, Drake, and the juvenile went to the residence to commit a crime of burglary. You think? Tim says, I love a story with a happy ending. Me too, baby. Me too. All right, let's move on to the next one then. 2 Athens residents killed, 2 jailed in attempted Barrow County robbery. 2 Athens residents were shot to death. Barrow County, Athens, it's
Georgia.
That's here. That's just up the street. 2 Athens residents were shot to death, and 2 more are in jail after authorities said the 4 attempted to rob a person in Barrow County. All right, just real quick, I like them numbers. 4 on 1, 2 dead and 2 incarcerated. Somebody made a wise decision wearing his weapon out of the house that morning. Those killed were identified as Jose Barrera, 19, and Erica Contreras, 19, according to the Barrow County Sheriff's Office, which released the names Friday. The 2, oh, and by the way, I went looking. All the stories I found were from 7 or more days ago. So apparently it was a quiet week this week. Maybe it's because it was rainy and gross in Georgia. So, the 2 were shot to death during an attempted robbery on Beach Creek Circle. According to the deputies, Julio Rivera, 20, and Alfonso Gonzalez, 19, were arrested and charged with attempted armed robbery, aggravated assault. They remain in jail without bond. Deputies said the man targeted for robbery was in a vehicle when the 2 suspects were shot. The man was with an Athens woman when they stopped due to car trouble, according to the incident report. The victim heard footsteps and turned to his right and saw a gun in his face, so he shot the male. The report contained no information on the shooting of the other suspect who was killed. Robbery victim who was shaking told deputies he could not give a more detailed statement at the scene because he did not know what else to say. Deputies earlier said the 2 shooting victims were found near the scene of the robbery attempt, which occurred shortly before 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah, that.
I don't see anything that says they were taken away, so I'm gonna say that's 2 and 2.
DRT.
That's a DRT and another DRT and a couple of BRMs because you got away. So
I don't know, man. I don't know. Like if you take out 2 of 4 when it's 4 on 1, and you're in that kind of a panic situation, I mean, I get it. 2 of them got away, but 2 of them didn't, and they didn't exactly get away either. They temporarily left the scene.
yeah, well.
And I love the detail about the victim was so shaky they couldn't give a more detailed statement. But, you reach
I don't know
a certain
what else
point.
to say.
Yeah, you reach a certain point. It's like, what else do you need to know?
All right, your argument was insufficient, but Tom Waller argues don't shoot a fleeing person. I'll give you that. That's fair. So I'll take one of those BRMs back. I'll take them both back. No BRM on that one. And yeah, that's all fair. That's all fair. Okay, moving on. Oh no, I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me. Central Maine. Yeah, fine. I'll let you through my ad blocker. You charlatans. Man who... Okay. Central Maine, you just lost a viewer. I'm not even gonna dignify that with an archive. So, moving on to the next one. Woman shot during robbery at famed Il Pastillo restaurant in Beverly Hills. A woman was shot during a robbery at a famed Beverly Hills restaurant Thursday afternoon, officials said. Around 2:10 p.m., police received a 911 call reporting a robbery with shots fired at Il Pastillo, an Italian eatery located on the 400 block north of Cannon Drive, the Beverly Hills Police Department said in a new release. A very high-end watch was taken from one of the diners. Beverly Hills Police reports witnesses described seeing one of the three assailants grab a man from behind the neck while another started reaching for his watch. They said the watch stolen appeared to be a Richard Mille timepiece, estimated to be worth in the ballpark of $400,000. Damn, son.
Wow.
Okay, word of advice. Don't wear a McMansion on your wrist in public, and if you do, you should be wearing a firearm that is sufficiently diamond encrusted to match the value of that watch.
No. You can picture it. They've got a high point tucked under their belt. The 2A people will get the joke. Everybody else is like, huh?
Yeah, if you can afford a $400,000 watch, make a movie. According to bystanders, the robbery victim and his three companions started fighting back. The victim was able to gain control of the robber's gun and began firing at them. This story just got more interesting.
That's spicy.
Drew Hancock, who was also dining at the restaurant at the time, says his girlfriend was hit by a ricocheting bullet in the back of her calf. I don't care about her little... Okay, go... Sweetheart, go file your claim with Lloyd's of London. They'll cover your legs if they don't look good in the porno anymore. Roger? Okay, police confirmed the woman who was dining at the restaurant with two other people was shot after the three men attempted to rob another patron. After one of the men shot the woman, the three suspects left the location on foot, officials said. So, oh man, okay, this one's a little different.
Yeah, how do we score it? Like somebody went full-blown He-Man, wrestled the gun away from the bad guy, but then didn't kill any of the bad guys.
Yeah, so if it had been a trained or at least an armed, Waller says that's definitely a BRM. Yeah, well, we've got a couple of people to score here, guys. We may have to just develop a more complex scoring system. I am going to put this one as a BRM, because yes. The criminal lost control of his firearm. So, as much as we want the criminal to be the one who loses overall, the criminal would be better served had he had a little BRM, maintained control of his firearm, and managed to effectively conduct the robbery. And normally I would just say, screw this. So, because the bad guy screwed up. But somebody with a great big sack of nuts who is not a daily carrier because he lives in California where they've already taken away the guns, so that they can improve the society,
Yes, so that
they
you
can
can
develop
get robbed
so that they can develop that eternally lasting utopia where there's just heroin needles and human feces everywhere.
Well, they're in Beverly Hills, not San Francisco. But it's kind of funny. Like, they're in the utopia. I get the impression, if this is a famous restaurant and all that, like, it's the kind of thing where you and I probably can't even afford to eat there. And
Right.
so you're in your utopia and you get robbed at the kind of place where there's like creases ironed into the tablecloths. Yikes. That's not good. I say
and I mean,
this,
hey,
a Waffle House might be cheap, but you don't want to rob the one where I live at.
And I've had a couple of $500 steaks in California. It's an interesting experience. I can tell you, I've also had some $20 steaks that were damn good. But this one's going to be 2 BRMs. And yeah, we're just going to have to add. This is going to be one of the achievement badges, which, by the way, I am working on. I just finished that huge wedding, and we did the premiere for it last night. So I'm a little behind on the achievement badge thing that I want to get done, but it is in progress. I was working on it this morning. Anyway, so yeah, this would have gotten a swinging pair achievement. Would you? Dave Bowen says, would you like fresh ground pepper with your lead risotto?
Oh, that's...
My man.
Okay. Can we squeeze in one more?
Yeah, we can get one more in. Okay. Y'all ready for it? Man, Chicago. Screw you, Chicago. Screw Chicago. Hey, WSB TV. Armed citizen stops robbery suspect at Midtown Chick-fil-A. Oh, y'all shouldn't have come with the guns against the Lord's chicken.
I was about to say, I feel like there's a potential 11th commandment that got violated there.
Here in Georgia, we take the Lord's chicken very seriously.
Yeah,
and Cameron, you can't see the video here. It's interesting that they're playing video footage from the incident, and guess what I see a lot of? Almost all the cops, almost all the employees, almost everybody in the footage is black. And somebody amid them was armed and ready to rock and roll. So, before I read this article, let me say something about blacks and guns. Remember, Cameron, when we went, and it should have been the best gig that we ever had as video producers. We went to...
Yes. Can we even say the name?
Yeah, honestly, as far as I know, they probably don't even exist anymore. Screw them. But we got hired by a company. It was a black-owned, all-black employed their manufacturing company that made AR-15 style rifles, and one of their principal marketing targets was police forces and SWAT forces. They were going after some military contracts. I think they basically fell apart. But anyway, it was a hell of a good day. We got paid. They never. Anyway, we got paid that day to basically go and shoot a bunch of big guns and shoot video footage of us shooting big guns. And I cut some amazing commercials out of it that never went anywhere because that company fell apart. But while we were there, this was at a very nice, very posh indoor shooting range in. Does that count as Midtown Atlanta, Cameron?
Well, it's right next to an apartment complex called the Mark at West Midtown.
Okay, gotcha. So yeah, so that's in Midtown. And while we were there, guess what do you know what I saw while we were at this firing range in Midtown Atlanta? I saw over and over again I saw dozens of young, sharp, clean-cut, nicely dressed, intelligent black men walk into that building wearing open carry holster pistols on their hips, and many of them walked in wearing their AR-15 or AR style rifle just slung on their back with a bag of, like a go bag with their ammo in it, over and over and over again. And Cameron, you remember this. I rolled over and elbowed you in the shoulder, and I said, man, that's a beautiful thing right there. I am thrilled to see this.
Well, that whole thing that people like you and I don't want black people to be armed because we're afraid of them. Like, I honestly wonder where that even comes from. Because I remember making the joke. It's like, God, we're probably in the safest spot in Midtown right now.
Yeah.
And the thing is the concept of gun culture superseded everything else. Yeah, we were a few white faces in a sea of not white faces, but everybody got along, was cracking jokes, was just happy to put some lead down range, compare firearms. Like, it was functionally, it was no different to places I've been that are more populated by white people. Again, there's just something about people being polite as fuck when everybody's armed. I mean, for starters. Plus, there's the thing about gun culture itself where there's a lot of people, myself included, that, yes, I understand it's my right, but I also think of it as a privilege and as a responsibility. Like, I carry a weapon. I carry a weapon that could do a lot of damage to a lot of people in a short period of time. And I need to treat it like the awesome responsibility that it is. And it changes your entire mindset when you do that. And it gives you a commonality with anybody and everybody else that you come across, especially here in America. Maybe that's actually why the left wants to go after guns so hard. They understand that it would make people that otherwise would not be friends, fast friends, in a real hurry.
Well, and you mentioned the responsibility. We should make this a show topic sometime, just talking about the responsibility of being an armed citizen. Guys, it is not merely your right. I love how Jordan Peterson puts it. Everybody's always going on about their rights. Nobody wants to talk about responsibility. It is your right to keep and bear arms. It is your constitutionally guaranteed but God-given right to keep and bear arms for the purposes of self-defense, defense of others. And the whole hunting and sporting thing is a part of that, but that's not the point. And it is not just your right to keep and bear arms. I don't just want you to be free to keep and bear arms. I want you to feel like you have a divine mandate to do so. I want you to feel like you should feel ashamed of yourself if you're not carrying a firearm. Because here's the responsibility. We live in a world where no matter what steps we take to make the world safer, it will never be truly safe. Right? Your chances of being mauled by a grizzly bear while taking money out of the ATM are low, but never zero. And there are lots of other things that can happen that are much more likely than a random grizzly bear coming up on you in downtown Atlanta. Like, for example, somebody else with a damn gun. Now, it is not only your responsibility to stay alive and to do what you need to do to keep yourself alive. It is your responsibility in a world where you have the power and the ability to do so, to defend those who need it. And hey, sometimes those who need it, it could be me. It could be the 350-pound black belt with a revolver that just doesn't see the bad guy coming. I'm good, but I'm not perfect. It is in fact possible to get the drop on the fat man.
Yeah, you have not yet achieved Marduk, where you have eyes on all four corners of your head.
Right. Dave asks, what are the odds of an armed grizzly bear robbing you at an ATM? I imagine those odds are pretty low, Dave, but again, they're never zero.
Well, no, grizzly bears have paws, not arms.
You know, I've made the argument before that I'm against declawing cats because I'm a staunch 2A advocate.
Anyhow, we're running long, and I've got to.
Okay. Okay, let's wrap it up with the rest. We'll read the story about the Midtown Chick-fil-A. So, a lot of police respond to a Midtown Chick-fil-A where they say an armed citizen stopped an attempted burglary. Thank you, sir. Defending the Lord's chicken. Police received a call after 3 p.m. Tuesday about a man who entered the restaurant inside Colony Square with a gun and demanded cash. Atlanta police originally said the man fired 3 shots inside the restaurant, according to witness reports. However, police later said the shots came from an armed citizen who tried to stop the robbery. I don't like that language. They said tried to stop the robbery.
I think they successfully stopped the robbery. They need a BRM, but they successfully stopped the robbery.
Well, we suspect. I don't see anything about a fatality here yet. As the man ran from the restaurant, Sergeant John Chafee said several people nearby saw what was going on and attempted to stop him. One of them fired 2 shots and held the robbery suspect at gunpoint until officers arrived. BRM. Now, that right there. They didn't use the language that they should have. They didn't use the language, but they should have. That is a citizen's arrest. Right? Now,
yep.
We've talked on this show before about why we don't fire warning shots. Warning shots are a bad idea. But the authority of a citizen to conduct a citizen's arrest is an important right, an important authority. And make no mistake, there is active work right now on the heels of the Ahmaud Arbery incident to strip away the authority of citizens to conduct a citizen's arrest. Currently, your authority to arrest is identical to the authority of a police officer to arrest based on the available evidence and crime. Your authority to conduct an arrest is the same. What distinguishes your authority from that of a police officer is you do not have the authority to transport or incarcerate a suspect, right? So if you find yourself in the situation, the correct way to conduct a citizen's arrest is to detain the suspect at arms if need be and contact the police so that they can transport and detain the suspect on a more permanent basis. Right? Anarchy Television asks, is it not our right to do a citizen arrest on any government official also? We would have to talk about specific case incidences to dig into that. Yeah, we would have to talk about some specific case incidences to do that. The simple answer is yes, but the burden of evidence required is the more complex part of that question, AT. We'll have to come back to that another time. Okay, so one of them fired 2 shots, held the robbery suspect at gunpoint until officers arrived. No one was injured in the shooting. No charges at this time are expected against the citizen. The suspect was identified Tuesday as 23-year-old Willie Golston IV. He is charged with armed robbery, aggravated assault, and possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony. He is in the Fulton County Jail. I don't like that addendum. He's charged with the possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony. Shut up. He committed a felony.
Yeah, that's good enough for me.
Dave Bowen says, man, Nancy Pelosi better not let me catch her robbing a Chick-fil-A. Dave, Nancy cannot cross the threshold of a Chick-fil-A for the same reason she cannot enter the church. All right.
All right, brother. I'm hard up, man.
All right. I'm putting a pin in it. It is Friday, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all be safe this weekend. Here is your safety brief. Don't fry bacon naked. Don't drive drank. Sex, drugs, rock and roll. Firearms and videotape. Oh, and farm animals. No two at the same time. And hopefully I'll see a few of y'all. Dave, are you going? But hopefully I'll see a few of y'all at the wrestling match tomorrow night. Y'all take care, and we'll see you Monday. Oh, wait. I'll be live tomorrow morning from the GOP party caucuses in Rockdale County, and tomorrow evening from the Southern Fried Championship Wrestling. And I'll probably pop up live a couple times today as I'm finalizing some minor tech support questions that I still have. Y'all take care, and we'll see you Monday.